rankings of quarterbacks entering 2018. Tom Brady tops the list, followed by Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson. Dak is all the way at number 12, one spot behind 49ers quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. Clearly, Will Kane is back.
How's Dak Prescott doing? Oh, they're all doing great. Mike White, great. Cooper Rush.
Like, who cares?
Robot Jason came in, didn't know how to answer the question.
Clearly, you love your coach. Stephen A., should Jimmy G be ahead of Dak on this list?
Hell no. I don't feel that way. Number one. Number two, I could wait to get into my rant, unlike Will Kane, who's not disciplined enough to do so. But
no
the point is, but I completely feel the way that Will feels about what Jason Garrett had to say. What the hell was that? I mean, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, bringing up these reserve quarterbacks. We all know that this team is about Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. And for Jason Garrett to come out and sound the way he sounded, I'm waiting for this man to officially be on the damn hot seat with his underachieving behind. It's just ridiculous. Having said all of that, let me say this. Dak Prescott stepped out of pocket because, obviously, with Ezekiel Elliott being suspended for those 6 games and with the season being as haphazard as it was, with Jason Witten, our colleague now here at ESPN, clearly being a step slower, with Des Bryant clearly having lost a step, which folks are now willing to concede. You're expected to have more speed, more youth in your lineup this time around, along with Ezekiel Elliott being healthy. I think that bodes well for a Dallas Cowboy team that, by the way, whose offensive line is now healthy and expected to be fully intact. I think in the case of Jimmy Garoppolo, listen, 308-yard average passing yards in his 5 starts. 67% completion with his passes. Marquise Goodwin had 29 catches for over 300 yards and a touchdown in the 5 starts of Garoppolo. We've heard all of these things even before he had his starts in San Francisco. Mollywood was already calling him Jimmy G. Okay, we get it.
Yourself.
Quick release. He can throw the football. He can read defenses. But you know what? That's real easy to say when there isn't a body of work there for people to read you. But now that he's had his 7 starts, and now that people are going to be more familiar with him, I'd like to see what he does then, particularly with Carlos Hyde being gone. This kid, Jerick McKinnon, who's only had about 14 starts in his career, getting a 4-year, $36 million deal from San Francisco. Pierre Garçon is coming back. I get it. Goodwin is there. He's got good chemistry with them. I get all of that. But now that we're going to see teams familiar with Jimmy Garoppolo, I'd like to see us judge him against Dak Prescott then, not just after a few starts. We shall see.
I'm a big believer in Dak Prescott, and I'm sure as Will's about to make the case, I believe he's become really underrated, and even his so-called struggles last year were exaggerated. I like Dak. I like him under pressure. I like him as the leader of a team. I think he's already a good one, and he's going to be a great quarterback. And so it's unfair to put Jimmy Garoppolo ahead of him. It's unfair based on the evidence so far if you were just doing strictly resume. But if you ask me who I'd take right now, I'm taking Jimmy G. And let me tell you why. A lot of it's circumstantial kind of evidence, it's true. And in fact, I'll start there. Bill Belichick liked Jimmy Garoppolo so much that Tom Brady had to go to Robert Kraft to get Jimmy G shipped out of town. Had to go to the owner to undermine Bill Belichick because he saw what was coming. And who wanted Jimmy Garoppolo? Who wound up trading for him? Kyle Shanahan. In other words, off an offensive mind saw that guy, said, yup, that guy, I want that guy. And Jimmy Garoppolo was 2-0 with the Patriots. It's okay, Matt Castle went 11-5 with the Patriots, Lots of guys can go, Brissett that year went 1-1. He's a pretty good quarterback, I think. But Jimmy Garoppolo was 2-0, okay? Then he goes to the Niners, who couldn't buy a win. This was like, let's not forget what the Niners were last year, because now you look at the record, oh, look at that, 6 wins. No, they're a 1-win team without Garoppolo. They can't win. They're the Cleveland Browns without Garoppolo. You drop Garoppolo in there, they don't lose. They do not lose. He's now 7-0 in his career. He ain't going to be undefeated this year, folks. I'm not saying that. I'm saying think of the football minds who identify him and say, him, not Tom Brady, in the near future, who say, him. We want to build our franchise around him. And then look at what he's delivered. I like Jimmy G.
The endorsement is real.
Well, maybe the endorsement's real, but Max, you're off brand. You're far away from your core. You're violating your principles. Max, who are you? I don't even know this guy that's talking right now. This is Max Kellerman. This is evidence, Max. This is proof in the pudding, Max. This is stats, Max. Analytics, Max. And you're going with circumstantial evidence. You're using the word of somebody else. You're using, as Stephen A. points out, small sample size of Jimmy G. It's just, in the end, you can take him if you want, but you just got to acknowledge it's a high-risk, bad bet. It may pan out for you. Doesn't mean you're going to be wrong. It just means it's a bad bet. We got 2 seasons of Dak. 2. And you acknowledge even the horrendous, by most media account, season that he had in his second year is greatly overplayed. And while we're talking about overplayed, the Jimmy G thing, he may turn out great, but acknowledge the hype involved in Jimmy G right now. 5 starts. 5 starts with San Francisco 49ers colors on. And Stephen A., you laid out some wonderful stats, but you left out, I think, one of the most important. 7 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Dak has never, even in this horrendous year, again, by most media accounts that Dak just had, never had a touchdown-to-interception ratio like that. Dak Prescott has been in the completion percentage zone that Jimmy Garoppolo has been, but not for 5 games, for an entire season. Dak's given you the body of work. By the way, for that matter, because I'm eminently objective and in no way a fan of this team or this guy, just total reporting objectivity here, I have concerns about Dak. I'm not pretending that he's going to be Tom Brady this year. There are concerns coming out of training camp about how good Dak's deep ball is. There are concerns, nothing like Jason Garrett's concerns that apparently require you to mention Cooper Rush and Mike White when asked about Dak Prescott. No concerns like that, but I have some concerns. But not over Jimmy G. Not concerns to take him, put him below Jimmy G.
I have a question for you. Do you think Tom Brady's the best quarterback in the NFL?
I do.
Do you think if Bill Belichick wanted Dak Prescott right now over Tom Brady, you would have more confidence in Dak Prescott?
If Bill Belichick, that's evidence.
Right now, that's great evidence.
No,
that Max you. So basically,
I didn't deny the existence. I didn't deny the existence of circumstantial evidence. I denied Max Kellerman relying so heavily on it, which is not anything compared to the statistical proof that Dak Prescott has given you.
You would be right. Will, you would be right if those opinions were just formed watching him in practice. But you're glossing over the fact that he went to essentially a winless team, and they became a lossless team as soon as he gets there. So it's not that you're right when you say it's a bad bet. It's not that it's a bad bet. It's that it's a risky bet based on sample size. But when you take the actual results and combine that with the highest kind of level of football minds and what they clearly think about Jimmy G, that bet looks like it has a big payoff and is maybe not quite as risky as it seems at first.
Yeah, I just think you should probably take the endorsement a little more seriously when Bill Belichick wants him over Tom Brady, who you just said is the best quarterback in the league.
12's not bad, but he should be above Jimmy G. If that matter, this could be it for another day. He should be above Andrew Luck, too, right now.
All right. You got radio later?
Yes, I do.
What time?
3 o'clock.
All right.
Eastern.
Will Kane Show.
12 Pacific.
Still to come, find out why the pressure on Derek Carr will be immense in Oakland this year, according to one of our guys. Plus, it's this year's last major golf tournament, and Tiger Woods says his game is trending in the right direction. We'll see if the guys agree later. First Take.